Hey everyone, Internet PCS book reader here. Today I want to talk about an ugly truth inside Facebook Battle for Domination by Sheta Frankel and Cecilia Kang. The book opens up with what is currently the most forgotten Facebook cases, which is when it was found out that the engineer of Facebook can see the user data. Really see it. And after a few cases, it is known that some of their engineers are stalking its user on real life based on private data in their Facebook. And it was not until 2015 when Alex Talmos became the security chief officer that the company realized that almost 20,000 of their employees have unrestricted access to their user most private data like real-time GPS and password. Unfortunately, all the fix that should have been implemented was held back by, Donald Trump scandals on the platform. The opening really set the tone of the book, but it then takes a step back to tell us about how Facebook was founded. How in 2001, Christopher Villery made Facebook, the yearly student directory of Exeter University, and then Mark Zuckerberg made a competitor to the site FaceMash to rate his female classmates, which, as you might have guessed, caused a few problems that he apologized publicly. Of course, not taking any consequences. It also violated copyright and student guidelines, which got him into problem with Harvard, which he again apologized publicly, and then he got off again with only a scolding. This will become a familiar pattern in his life with bigger scale and worse scolding. The book then continues until how the Facebook was eventually made and how it grows into one of the biggest tech company. And also how Sheryl Sandberg became Mark's second hand despite being in a very male-dominant Silicon Valley. The story of Mark and Sheryl on how they become one of the most successful company in history are honestly really inspiring. But they are from a privileged background which makes them have major blind spots which unfortunately for us caused Facebook to get to the top without paying attention to how it got there. Mark Zuckerberg and Sheryl Sandberg are very talented individuals with a very limited scope of understanding about the world, and as a result of this they are considerably out of touch while the company they headed got bigger and bigger, swallowing almost half the population of the world, but also harming them in a very significant way. There are definitely times when success at all costs too much, and this easily fit into an example of one of those. Because Meta grew by prioritizing engagement at all costs, it makes propaganda and conspiracy at the top of everyone's newsfeed for some years. The book gave us detail on how Facebook was used as political espionage, which affect not just America but also Indonesia, Philippines, France, and a lot of other countries. How they created backdoor to sell data to invite company to sponsor their product at first, which is not resolved, and it caused the Cambridge Analytica fiasco. Then the most deadly disaster that Facebook has caused, which is the Rohingya genocide, and also a lot of other controversies that Facebook took a big part in causing. These are all told in a very cohesive and easy to digest story, even with all the details, which includes the people who found these issues first from inside Facebook until the result of the company negligence got too big for them to ignore. Meta now have 3.5 billion users, which is ridiculous because the population of our world is only 8 billion, so it is almost half of our population. And now they made Thread, a competitor for Twitter, which is, in a morbid way, is kinda hilarious that the company with one of the most hostile business model ever that managed to monopolize the industry so bad that it got to its number, and the company that you have all the problem that is mentioned in this book, which is espionage, genocide, propaganda, and cult activity on such a global scale, have the audacity to market its product as nicer Twitter. I'm not defending Twitter by all means, because that site is a bottomless Pandora box. If there's hope in it, it already left the box for its own sanity. I think doom scrolling is a term made for Twitter because of its hellhole nature. It's like digging into a hole. But Thread is, I don't think it's nicer Twitter. It's just the new social media that is, as usual in its launch stage, it's bleeding money. And as usual with any new technology that is bleeding money at its release, it's not a question of if it will change, but when it will change, and how it will change when it started to try to make money. And will we realize it when that changes are made? Because a lot of people don't really realize it when Facebook changed and caused all the tragedies mentioned in this book. Or at least we realize it, but there's nothing we can do about it because it's their company. And unfortunately for us, the people who should keep the company in check are incompetent old men who don't even know how advertisement work. And the company itself are always slow at responding or even not responding at all to this problem that they have caused. There is a sense that the response for most of this is just maybe if we focus on the goods and ignore all the bad, then the bad will go away by itself, which don't work on an individual level and harmful once you scale them to the billions of users that Meta have. This combined with it doesn't matter as long as we're still growing makes it even more harmful. It's hustle culture gone too far all over again. The bottom line was that we couldn't hurt our bottom line, observed Facebook data scientists who work on the changes. Mark still wanted people using Facebook as much as possible, as often as possible. Meta have proven times and again that they don't care about the harm they're causing, and it will only grow bigger with threat. The team and the people they hired to make their product more secure for us, like Alex Stetson and ERS Stenset, was ignored over and over again when they gave the company a heads up on the harm the company did. The only solution currently is just us being better at navigating this social media landscape, which sucks since the company who makes so much more than us can and should do better, but just won't. But it's what we got for now while hoping for a better solution. Sarah Frankel and Cecilia Kang did a really great job with this book. It is well written with great storytelling and pacing, even with all the detail being placed during their investigation to the company. This is a great book to read with a lot of receipts and sources. Definitely need more of this kind of book that shed light to ugly truths that people tend to avoid or ignore. That's about it.